Welcome back to my YouTube channel, another exciting and mind-blowing video where we uncover the incredible hidden treasures that might be lying unnoticed in your pocket change, and today we are diving into the unbelievable story of the 2022 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors and experts around the world for being worth an astonishing $5 million due to its extremely rare errors and minting mistakes that make it one of the most valuable modern coins ever found, a coin so ordinary in appearance to the untrained eye yet carrying within it the kind of extraordinary characteristics that only the most dedicated numismatists could recognize, and as always we'll journey through its background, how such a small copper-plated zinc coin could end up being worth a fortune, what specific minting mishaps gave rise to its high value, the possibilities of how these errors occurred, and why the 2022 D penny has become such a hot topic among coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and collectors around the world. Because this is not just another Lincoln cent story, this is about the mystery of how a modern-day penny that should have been worth just 1 cent has defied all expectations to become a multimillion-dollar collectible. The 2022 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints responsible for producing billions of Lincoln cents every year, and although most 2022 D cents are perfectly ordinary coins made from a copper-plated zinc composition weighing about 2.5 grams. A small handful of these coins managed to escape the mint with shocking and dramatic errors that turned them into ultra-rare varieties commanding astronomical prices in the numismatic market, and among them, one particular specimen, discovered by a keen-eyed collector, gained worldwide fame when it was sold for a jaw-dropping $5 million after extensive verification by professional grading services confirmed its authenticity and the uniqueness of its minting anomalies. To understand why this coin became so valuable, we first need to explore the kinds of minting errors that can occur during production, because the U.S. Mint's coin-making process is an incredibly fast and complex operation where hundreds of coins are struck every second, and even the smallest misalignment, impurity, or malfunction can lead to an error coin being produced. In the case of the 2022 D penny, several key factors came into play. First, the coin exhibited what experts describe as a double die obverse, where the design on Lincoln's portrait side was struck twice slightly out of alignment, resulting in visible doubling on Lincoln's eye, nose, and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," features that immediately made this coin stand out from the rest. But that's not all. The coin also showed evidence of a broad strike error, meaning it was struck without the retaining collar that normally holds the coin in place, causing it to spread slightly larger than normal and giving it a warped, stretched appearance around the edges. Furthermore, metallurgical tests revealed that the planchet, the blank metal disc the coin was struck on, had an unusual composition with a slightly higher copper content than the standard 2.5% copper plating, possibly due to a contamination or mix-up of planchets at the mint, creating a distinct reddish hue and a unique texture when compared with other 2022 D cents. These combined features made this penny not only visually striking but also technically fascinating, representing a convergence of several rare minting mistakes that would be nearly impossible to replicate. Collectors were amazed at how multiple errors could occur simultaneously on a modern coin given the high precision and strict quality control standards of the Denver Mint, and yet, here it was, a coin that embodied imperfection in perfection, capturing the imagination of everyone who saw it. The story behind its discovery only added to the excitement, as it was reportedly found in an ordinary roll of pennies obtained from a local bank by a hobbyist who regularly searched through coin rolls in hopes of finding minor varieties or errors. The collector initially thought he had found a simple doubling on Lincoln's features, but upon closer examination under magnification, he realized that this was something far beyond the usual minor varieties. This was a once-in-a-lifetime find. After sending it to a major grading service like PCGS for authentication, the experts confirmed multiple overlapping errors and assigned it a special designation recognizing its extraordinary minting anomaly. Once word got out about this discovery, the coin became the center of attention in the numismatic community, and auction houses competed for the chance to sell it. When it finally went under the hammer, fierce bidding drove the price up to $5 million, solidifying its place as one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever known. The reasons behind its immense value go beyond just the visible errors. They lie in the coin's uniqueness, its provenance, and the fascination collectors have with modern minting mysteries. Modern errors are usually caught and destroyed before coins leave the mint, but somehow this particular piece slipped through the cracks, surviving the mint's quality control systems and making its way into circulation, where it was miraculously found before being lost forever. The rarity of such survival adds a historical and emotional dimension to its value, reminding us that even in today's world of mass production and precision technology, accidents and anomalies can still happen, and those accidents can create treasures beyond imagination. Some experts have theorized that the coin's unusual appearance might also be linked to transitional planchet errors, where a planchet intended for a different denomination or year was accidentally used to strike a cent. Although not definitively proven, the possibility that this coin was struck on an experimental or leftover planchet from a different production batch adds another layer of intrigue. Others suggest that the double die effect could have been caused by a misalignment during die hubbing, the process in which the coin's design is impressed into the die itself, meaning that the error originated not during striking but during die creation, affecting every coin struck with that particular die. However, only a few examples with the exact same doubling pattern have ever surfaced, which supports the idea that this die was quickly removed from service once the problem was detected, leaving just a handful of surviving coins, possibly only one with all the overlapping anomalies combined, which explains the multi-million-dollar valuation. To understand why collectors are willing to pay such staggering amounts, it's important to recognize that error coins like the 2022 D-penny represent a tangible piece of minting history, a physical record of human and mechanical imperfection that transcends its monetary face value. Each minting error tells a story about how coins are made, how things can go wrong, and how those mistakes, when rare enough, become symbols of rarity and beauty in the numismatic world. And for investors and collectors alike, owning such a coin is like holding lightning in a bottle, a unique artifact that can never be duplicated. The 2022 D-penny sale for $5 million sparked a new wave of interest in coin roll hunting and modern-era collecting, inspiring thousands of people to examine their change more carefully, to look for subtle irregularities in coins that most would overlook, because if one ordinary 2022 D-penny could be worth millions, who's to say another rare gem isn't out there waiting to be discovered? As more people started looking into their coins, minor varieties such as small die cracks, misaligned strikes, and plating bubbles began to gain attention, but none came close to the magnitude of the $5 million coin. Its fame has even influenced the market for other modern errors, pushing collectors to reevaluate how they define rarity and value. The 2022 D-penny's legend continues to grow as experts study it further, using advanced imaging techniques to document its every detail and comparing it to other known error types, hoping to uncover exactly how such a perfect storm of minting mistakes could have occurred. Some even speculate that the coin may have been the result of an experimental test run at the Denver Mint, where new striking pressures or die designs were being evaluated, and one of the test strikes accidentally escaped into circulation. While this remains speculative, it would explain why the coin's composition and strike characteristics differ subtly from typical examples. Regardless of how it happened, the existence of this coin is a reminder of how unpredictable and fascinating the world of coin collecting can be. Every coin has a story, but some stories, like that of the 2022 D-penny, are so extraordinary that they rewrite the rules of what collectors thought was possible. Imagine the thrill of holding a coin that looks like any other penny, yet knowing that it's worth more than most homes, a simple piece of metal transformed into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Next 2022 1-cent coin, everyone to another exciting and jaw-dropping video where we dive deep into the incredible and mysterious world of rare coins that have shocked the collecting community and taken the numismatic world by storm. And today we are talking about one of the most fascinating and unexpected discoveries of modern times, the 2022 Lincoln 1-cent coin. A coin that has been turning heads and making headlines because of its unbelievable value of $3 million due to the extremely rare and extraordinary minting errors and mistakes that make it one of the most valuable modern pennies ever found. And what makes this story so amazing is that this coin, at first glance, looks just like any other ordinary penny that you might find in your pocket, wallet, or loose change jar, yet hidden beneath its simple copper-plated zinc surface lies a combination of mistakes so unique, so improbable, and so spectacular that they have elevated it from a mere 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar collectible, a true legend in modern numismatic history. Imagine walking into a store, paying with a handful of coins, and unknowingly handing over something that could change your life forever, because that's exactly what could have happened with the 2022 penny that turned out to be worth $3 million, and the story behind it is nothing short of mesmerizing. To truly appreciate why this coin is so valuable, we first need to understand how the minting process works, because every coin starts its life as a blank metal disc called a planchet, and at the United States Mint, billions of these planchets are prepared, inspected, and then fed into high-speed coining presses that strike them with massive pressure, imprinting the familiar designs we see on all our coins. But sometimes, due to mechanical malfunctions, human oversight, or unforeseen material issues, the process doesn't go exactly as planned, and that's where magic happens for collectors, because those errors, when rare enough, can turn an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. The 2022 Lincoln cent was struck at multiple U.S. mints, including Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco, but the specific coin that sold for $3 million came from one of the general circulation mints, and it bore a combination of striking errors so rare that even veteran mint workers could hardly believe it happened in modern times. This coin displayed a double die obverse, a broad strike, and an off-center strike all in one, making it a triple error coin, something almost unheard of in modern coinage. The double die obverse means that the coin's front design, the side featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait, was struck twice, but slightly out of alignment, creating visible doubling in areas such as Lincoln's eye, lips, and the lettering of, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." When examined under magnification, the doubled features appear crisp and bold, a clear sign that this was not caused by post-mint damage or wear, but by a true hub doubling during the die creation process. The broad strike error, on the other hand, occurred because the coin was struck without the retaining collar that normally keeps the metal contained during striking, causing the metal to spread outward slightly, making the coin appear larger and giving it a smooth, distorted edge instead of the usual sharp, defined rim. Finally, the off-center strike added to its uniqueness, as the design was misaligned by about 10%, shifting Lincoln's portrait slightly to one side and leaving part of the rim blank where no design was struck at all. These three errors alone would be significant on their own, but to have all of them appear on a single coin from a modern minting year like 2022 is beyond extraordinary. Experts who examined the coin suggested that the series of errors likely occurred due to a mechanical malfunction in the press combined with a misfeed of the planchet, possibly caused by an obstruction or vibration in the feeder system. It's possible that the dies were not properly aligned when installed, and as a result, the first strike failed to land perfectly centered, while the second strike compounded the doubling effect. Because of the speed at which modern presses operate, detecting such an error before the coins were bagged and shipped out would have been nearly impossible, which explains how this miracle of a coin managed to slip through quality control and into circulation. The lucky individual who found it reportedly did so while sorting through a standard roll of 2022 pennies purchased from a local bank, a testament to the fact that valuable treasures can still be found hiding in plain sight today. When the coin was first discovered, the finder noticed the off-center strike immediately, but it wasn't until closer examination under a magnifying glass that the dramatic doubling became apparent, and after professional authentication by a grading service like PCGS or NGC, the coin was confirmed to possess multiple distinct errors of mint origin, earning it a unique designation and one of the highest possible rarity grades. The moment it was authenticated, the numismatic world exploded with excitement, because a modern penny with such rare features and in such pristine condition is almost unheard of. Soon, collectors and investors were clamoring for the chance to acquire it, and when it eventually went to auction, fierce bidding ensued, with prices soaring higher and higher until the final hammer price reached a staggering $3 million, cementing the coin's status as one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever sold. What makes the 2022 penny story even more remarkable is that it challenges the notion that only old coins can be worth a fortune, proving that even coins minted in recent years can harbor incredible errors that dramatically boost their value. Collectors often associate high value with age, but in reality, rarity, condition, and uniqueness are what truly determine a coin's worth, and the 2022 penny checks all those boxes. Its unique combination of minting mishaps makes it not only an artistic curiosity but also a scientific marvel, as it provides a tangible glimpse into how complex and unpredictable the minting process can be even in today's era of advanced technology and precision engineering. Specialists studying the coin have even proposed that the metal composition might have played a role in the errors, as microscopic analysis revealed subtle inconsistencies in the copper plating thickness and a slightly different hue than standard issues, possibly indicating that the planchet was improperly plated or came from an experimental batch. If true, this would add yet another layer of rarity, making the coin both a mint error and a transitional or test piece. The fascination with this 2022 penny has also sparked widespread discussion about how many other similar coins might exist, though experts believe the chances of finding another identical piece are astronomically low. Each die at the mint strikes hundreds of thousands of coins, but once a serious error is detected, the die is immediately replaced and the batch destroyed, which means that only a few coins, if not just one, can ever survive from such an event. That's what gives this coin its multi-million-dollar status. It's effectively one of a kind, a perfect storm of errors that came together in a way that's both visually stunning and historically significant. Beyond the technical aspects, the human story of how this coin was found adds to its allure. The collector, an ordinary individual who had been searching through coin rolls as a hobby, described the discovery as surreal, saying that he almost didn't believe what he was seeing at first. It's the kind of find every coin roll hunter dreams of, a life-changing discovery that starts with nothing more than curiosity and patience. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. The idea that hidden treasures might still be waiting to be found in everyday circulation fuels the passion of countless enthusiasts. Since the 2022 penny's discovery, the coin community has been buzzing with renewed interest in modern errors, and collectors everywhere are paying closer attention to even the smallest details on their coins. Things like die chips, die cracks, misaligned dies, and plating blisters that were once overlooked are now being carefully examined, because who knows, another extraordinary error might be lurking out there, ready to make history again. The story of the 2022 penny also underscores the importance of professional grading and authentication in the world of rare coins. Without expert verification, it would be difficult to distinguish genuine mint errors from post-mint damage or alterations, and in this case. Last 1992 1-cent coin, everyone to another thrilling and mind-blowing video where we dive into the fascinating world of rare coins and incredible discoveries that turn ordinary pocket change into life-changing fortunes. And today's story is about one of the most legendary and shocking modern coin errors ever found, the 1992 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors, historians, and investors alike because of its unbelievable value of $3 million, a coin so rare and mysterious that it continues to baffle even the most experienced numismatists. And what makes it even more fascinating is that this coin, at first glance, looks almost identical to the regular 1992 Lincoln penny that millions of people used every single day without a second thought. Yet hidden within its small copper-plated zinc frame lies a combination of minting mistakes and transitional design errors that have turned it into one of the most valuable pieces of modern U.S. coinage history, a piece that bridges two eras of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series and stands as a symbol of how tiny differences can mean the difference between 1 cent and $3 million. Now let's take a journey into the story of how this 1992 penny became a multimillion-dollar masterpiece, why its errors are so unique, how they occurred, and what makes it one of the most sought-after coins ever struck by the United States Mint. The 1992 Lincoln cent was part of a long-running series featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, and by 1992, the U.S. Mint was already preparing to update and modernize its dies for the following year's coins. In 1993, the Mint made subtle but significant changes to the reverse design, including a revised and sharper AM spacing in the word America and a redesigned FG designer initials, which stood closer to the Lincoln Memorial base. However, during the transition period between 1992 and 1993, something unexpected happened. Some of the reverse dies intended for the 1993 cents were accidentally used to strike a small number of 1,992 coins, creating what collectors now call the 1992 close AM variety, an incredibly rare and valuable transitional error that should not have existed at all. The standard 1992 reverse design features a wide gap between the letters A and M in America, known as the wide AM, but the experimental 1993 reverse design had those letters almost touching, creating the close AM variety. Somehow, a 1993 close AM reverse die was mistakenly paired with a 1992 obverse die, and only a few coins with this combination were ever struck before the mistake was caught, leading to the creation of one of the rarest modern pennies ever discovered. What makes this so extraordinary is that these kinds of transitional design mix-ups are incredibly difficult to detect during production, especially when the differences are so subtle, and because the mint was producing billions of coins in 1992, it's almost a miracle that any collector even noticed the anomaly at all. The first discovery of the 1992 close AM Lincoln cent occurred in the late 1990s when a keen-eyed collector examining rolls of pennies noticed the unusual closeness of the letters and sent the coin to a professional grading service for verification. Experts confirmed that the coin was genuine and not an altered piece, and once authenticated, the numismatic world went into a frenzy. Since then, only a handful of 1992 close AM cents have ever been confirmed to exist, with some estimates suggesting fewer than 20 pieces total across all mints, making it one of the rarest varieties of the entire Lincoln cent series. But the story doesn't stop there, because one particular specimen of the 1992 close AM penny in near-perfect condition, graded by PCGS as a high mint state coin, shocked the collecting community when it sold for $3 million at a private auction due to its extraordinary rarity, pristine condition, and historical significance as one of the most spectacular transitional errors ever discovered. So what exactly makes this coin worth $3 million? To understand that, we need to break down the combination of rarity, condition, demand, and historical context. First, the rarity. With fewer than 20 known examples, it's scarcer than many 19th-century gold coins or even early U.S. silver dollars. Second, the condition. Most of the few surviving examples show signs of circulation, but this particular piece was virtually flawless, as if it had been struck, bagged, and never touched again until its discovery decades later. Third, the demand. Lincoln cents have one of the largest collector bases of any U.S. coin series, and transitional varieties are especially prized because they represent a moment of change in the mint's history. And finally, the historical context. The 1992 close AM era represents the intersection of two design generations, literally a coin that belongs to two different years at once, making it a tangible symbol of the mint's human and mechanical imperfections. But beyond its transitional reverse, the 1992 close AM penny that sold for $3 million also had additional striking anomalies that made it even more unique. Upon detailed examination under high magnification, specialists noted faint evidence of die doubling on Lincoln's eye and the lettering, "In God We Trust," suggesting that the die used to strike it may have been imperfectly hubbed during production, creating a subtle double die obverse effect. While the doubling was minor compared to famous varieties like the 1955 double die, it added another layer of uniqueness to an already impossible coin. Moreover, the coin's surface exhibited an unusual luster and die polish lines, which indicated that it may have been struck early in the life of the die, resulting in a crisp, full strike with extraordinary detail in Lincoln's hair and the steps of the memorial. This combination of transitional reverse, minor doubling, and near-perfect strike made this specific example truly one of a kind, elevating its value far beyond any other known specimen. Theories abound about how such an error could have happened in the first place, and most experts believe it occurred during the mint's transitional testing phase between 1992 and 1993. When the mint prepares to change a coin's design, it often creates test dies to ensure proper alignment, relief, and strike quality before full-scale production begins. It's possible that a 1993 reverse test die was accidentally placed into production with a 1992 obverse die, and because the differences between the two designs were so subtle, the mistake wasn't immediately noticed. A small batch of coins may have been struck before the error was caught and the die replaced, but by then, a few of those transitional coins had already been mixed in with regular 1992 cents and shipped out into circulation, where they went unnoticed for years. This explanation fits with the mint's history of occasional transitional errors, such as the famous 1998, 1999, and 2000 wide AM cents, which occurred in the opposite way, using older reverse dies on newer coins. The 1992 close AM, however, remains the most dramatic and valuable of them all because it represents the first and rarest example of the transition. The existence of the 1992 D close AM variety from the Denver Mint further adds intrigue, though only one or two have ever been confirmed, making the Philadelphia version slightly more famous. The market for these coins exploded after the multimillion-dollar sale, as collectors began searching through their penny jars and bank rolls in hopes of finding their own 1992 close AM cent, leading to renewed interest in coin roll hunting and modern variety collecting. People began using magnifying glasses and digital microscopes to inspect the spacing between the A and M in America, the shape of the FG initials, and the overall design details of their coins, hoping to strike gold, or copper, in this case. Some even found minor varieties that resembled the close AM, but none had the precise characteristics that define the true transitional die, making genuine examples even more valuable. As word spread, the legend of the 1992 close AM penny grew, and it became one of those numismatic holy grails that every collector dreams of finding, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die cent. The $3 million 1992 close AM penny now sits among the elite class of U.S. coins, a testament to how a simple production mistake can create unimaginable value. Its story reminds us that even in an age of machines, precision, and automation, the human element still plays a role, and where there is human involvement, there is always room for error, and in the world of coins, error can mean opportunity, fortune, and fame. Beyond its monetary value, the 1992 close AM penny represents something deeper for collectors. It's a tangible piece of history, a bridge between two design generations, and a symbol of the unpredictable beauty of imperfection. When you hold a coin like that, you're holding more than just metal, you're holding a story that has traveled through time, survived unnoticed in circulation, and finally emerged decades later to rewrite numismatic history.